I'm my biggest hater for real.
God?
Special guest. God, is that you?
I never knew how much time I was gonna have in this world.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Parking Lot Dreamer. Today, I'm hanging out with my friend Gracie Carol.
What's up?
Welcome to the van.
Thank you. I love it in here. It's the best.
Do you think you could live in one?
Oh, I for sure could.
You think?
I want to go on tour, you know? So
Yes, that's the whole reason we did this.
Yes.
Was 'cause, and then 2020 happened, and
that's like the
we are.
perfect time to do it, though, you know?
honestly, yeah, mine is the
2020.
gas stations closing and all the things. But
That's my favorite.
Gracie was coming over for a co-write today, and I was like, hey, let's adjust our time, and you can come on the pod.
I know.
So thank you for being here.
No, thank you for asking me. I was so excited.
Of course. So I'm excited for our co-write. Gracie is a singer-songwriter here in Nashville. She's super, super talented. And I've had the pleasure of becoming friends with her over the past couple months. So
Yeah. I feel like it's been way longer, though.
I know. I followed you and stalked you on socials.
Oh my God,
for,
I did the same thing.
years. But then I was finally like, hey.
No, for real. I think I first really was like, I need to message her and talk to this girl after you posted that song with Kylie that you did for Kylie.
Thank you.
No, for real. That was so awesome.
Thank
you. I need to be friends. I need to be friends with her.
It was so much fun. I was a little bit nervy posting it because I'm like, okay, this is a little cringy, but you got to feed into the cringe.
Have you ever done anything like that before?
I just
so
it was
cool.
very much like a God thing. Like, oh, I should just do this,
I
and
totally believe that.
I did it, and
Oh my gosh.
pretty cool.
Congrats on that. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You are coming out with an EP soon.
Hopefully, I'm trying my best to work out some financial obligations that I have, but once we get over that little hump, I have so much stuff planned and so much content that I want to put out for this, because the music, just comes so naturally, you know? And so whenever I do have that music that I absolutely love and want to put out to the world, it's just so easy to be able to make that kind of stuff. So I really want to get it out to you guys soon, and it's one of my favorites that I have so far.
It's so good, you guys. Seriously,
you.
I've seen it. I've been lucky enough to hear a couple tracks. The singles sound great.
Thank you.
And I've seen them performed live.
Yeah.
And they're great. They're
One of the
seriously
first
great.
people that you've seen that actually live that you've heard, because I
You did
I
so
post
good.
thank you. I post little snippets of the songs on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but whenever I play them live, that's the ultimate, where people I feel like can really hear the emotion in my voice and what comes from my heart through those songs. So, and you actually are the exact same way when you perform, which is so incredible.
You. Thanks for saying that.
You're welcome. There's not a lot of people who write songs and truly just feel the emotion through them whenever they go out and perform them live. You just kind of hear it through tracks, whereas we're performers, so when we do it, it's so beautiful, and you tell a story when you do it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that is so... I think it's a growing up watching Taylor thing,
Girl!
to be honest.
No, that is so funny you said that. Literally, I just watched her nonstop.
For real.
I don't even know how old I was when she came out, 9, 10, I don't know, 11. But those clips of her, just watching her as a country artist transition to who she is now, has been so inspiring as artists like us.
It really, really has. I'm super excited for the people that are our age to be on the come up, just because we were kind of raised by that. So I feel like music and concerts are going to start to become very theatrical.
Oh my gosh.
Just because that's what we learned from. That's what we were watching.
Exactly.
So,
did you do theater and drama growing up?
a little bit. Little bit. I did a few select plays if the school was putting one on, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
that sounds fun. I did Alice in Wonderland. I was Big Alice in Alice in Wonderland, and then
no way.
Big Alice. We did.
I've never seen the show of it.
So it's just like when she's like eating the food and growing. And
Yes.
oh my God.
What?
Mitch must be in here and his phone connected to our Bluetooth. Hello?
Hello? Like,
We
God?
have special guest. God, is that you?
Where'd you come from? I wonder if they heard that.
Don't forget about me, kids.
He's still on it.
I think that he transferred it to
Wait,
his
that's so
phone.
funny.
That is so funny. He said, hello?
Hello? Are you there?
Now I'm nosy and I'm like, who is it? Who's he talking to?
We're dead that happened. Like, what?
The way we jumped, we're like, hi. Oh my God, we have a
Jeez.
caller into the show.
That's what you get for when you do a van podcast.
A van podcast,
Yeah.
for real. We have special guests come through on the phone.
On the phone. We should do that, like call in
We
somebody
should.
sometime.
We should be
It'd
like,
be
hang
great.
on. What if you just call Taylor up?
Call Taylor up, call one of our like songwriter
Yes,
buddies
for
up, be like,
real.
we're about to play this song.
Yes.
That'd be a cool segment.
That would be cool. We want to eventually do something where we call, we have fans call in.
Oh, love.
And I do like a whole segment called, I think we want to call it like the bandwagon or something.
That is so
And-
the bandwagon.
And we want to like interview them about their favorite artists. So like
my
they don't have to be fans of me, but like, okay, you're a huge Miranda Lambert fan.
Yeah.
You've been to how many shows this past year? Just because like I feel like fans that are like super fans that go to a ton of shows are so interesting and cool.
Yeah.
And they don't get enough credit for being good fans.
Right, like
because like
super
without
fans?
none of this is
Exactly. Like you're not performing to anybody.
right.
Nobody would care.
Nobody would care.
But like doing a super fan calling in and like asking them about how many like concerts they've been to, and that's a great idea.
I just think it would be so fun. Like I
Yeah.
would watch that.
Yeah,
So
that'd be awesome.
your outfit is super cute today.
Thank
you
you.
want to talk about your collab with that boutique?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. I'm not wearing any of my pieces today, but I do have a clothing line collection with a boutique up in Illinois.
Queen.
And it was so cool how it all got started.
Yeah, how
because-
did you tell me that story? Because I
Yeah.
am seeing all the posts. I think it's so cool. I saw on your story when you went to like go pick out pieces, and I think the last thing I saw about it was the Taylor Swift jeans that you picked out.
Yes, girl, those are my favorite. So I met these people when I was working on Broadway. So
Oh no way.
yeah, so I worked on Broadway for 2 years. It was through 2021 to 2023. And while I was down there, I was wearing this jacket, and it was just like one of those like jean jackets it was a black one, and it has like, those rhinestones that like hang off fringe off the arm into the back all the way down to the other arm. And this lady was there, and she was wearing the exact same jacket as
way.
me. Yes, I was on stage like performing and stuff. And when I went around with the tip bucket, that's when like I went up and like kind of met them. And I kid you not, like it was a moment where you knew that we were supposed to meet. Like it was
Yeah.
like a moment in time where we're like, you knew we were gonna do something awesome in the future, because it was like we just kept talking, and like it was one of those like amazing opportunities where we just had to take up each other.
Yeah.
So she told me all about what she did, and she owned this boutique in Illinois, and she was down there for a fashion market in Nashville already.
Oh.
Yes. So
That's why she was in town in the first place.
Yes. And like literally, like I didn't think anything of it truly. Like I met so many people while I was working down there, you know? And most of the time it's just like drunk bachelorettes or like bachelors who are down there having a good time. So I truly was like, nothing's going to come from this. Like she doesn't really care about me that much. She just thought it was cool. No. I mean, we took that, and she was like, we love you. We love what you're doing on Broadway. We think so highly of you. We would love to collaborate with you and send you clothes and have it just all up in our store. And truly, I just felt like it was a huge blessing that just came upon my life in that moment.
Yeah.
And I think it actually helped like save me to keep going with my career.
Oh, 100%. And
Yeah.
you are such a badass when it comes to creating content and playing shows. Like, you are on it. So
Thank you.
I'm noticing that too, is like, I am running out of clothes.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
right?
because you don't want to wear the same thing back to back.
Yes.
You have to space them out. So like, even just the transaction of like, we want to dress you
Right.
is such a blessing.
It was so nice. And like, if you ever have the opportunity to find a clothing line and they want to help give you clothes to just perform on stage, girl, it is the best way to be able to have those outfits, to have different ones for each night on stage. Because when I was on Broadway, I was playing 4 nights a week on the weekends.
Right.
And like, I had enough outfits to like mismatch things and like put
Mix
other
them
things
up
together,
and, yeah.
but it just kind of got old at that time, and it
When you're
worked
filming
out.
everything, like,
Right,
you don't
yes.
want it to look the same. and-
Yeah, it just worked out so well that they did that opportunity for me, and they even invited me to go out and just pick out pieces from those markets and decide what I wanted to have a part of my line with them. And then, yeah, it's just great. I get to wear all the clothes that they give me, and then they get commission from it. And I help, I love to give back and help whoever helps me. So
100%.
it just worked out so amazing. So,
That is
yeah.
so cool.
I appreciate you saying that.
No problem. Oh my gosh. No, I think that's like the coolest thing ever.
you.
And the tags even say your name, don't they?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so,
That is so cool. Do you
Like-
feel like Barbie when you're putting those clothes on? Are you like, I am that
Sometimes.
girl? Like,
yes. No, it's crazy. So like, I'm a huge manifester.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing that ever since I was little, and I love to go through experiences, even if they're bad. I like to try to turn them into good things, and I
Yeah.
like to show people that not everything bad is a bad thing. And so when I was on Broadway, I tried to kind of change all of the bad that was happening down there into good, and I wanted to do that with performing. And if it was just those little pieces of adding those clothing lines and the collections and showing people the tag on my clothes and just showing a little bit of inspiration along the way, is just the absolute dream that I honestly never thought would actually come to life. But because I've thought about it so much, I think I accidentally made it manifest.
Yeah.
And that's the whole beauty about wanting to just keep going,
Yeah.
and keep wanting to do music and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's just the most beautiful thing. And I see that in you too.
Thanks,
which
queen.
is so awesome.
Thank you.
Because there's not a lot of people. I mean, there is a lot of people you meet here who have that light and they see that tunnel, but there's a lot of, I guess, energy, you could say, in Nashville where it can really bring you down, because there's so many people trying to do it. You know?
And something that I really love about you, Gracie, is that you are genuinely like a girl's girl. There are a lot of girls that parade around pretending to be girls, and then they're like oddly jealous of you when you get an opportunity and they don't, because they view it as a competition, where like, I feel like you truly, I always hear from like role models I have or mentors I have in the industry that are like, rise with your class, a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah.
And I feel like you actually believe that, and that's actually really, really rare. So
Thank you for
I love
saying that. That's
Girls
really
girl,
sweet.
for real.
I say, like, sometimes, being a girl's girl, you can experience a lot of jealousy because of the competition. And like, I don't ever see life as a competition. I don't think anybody should actually view life as a competition, because if they say comparison is a thief of joy,
It's true.
you just have to live life like every day is amazing and just full of happiness, and you want to help other people. And like, if you view that as a competition, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right. And it's like God put a plan in place for all of us. So it's like, why be jealous of somebody else's plan if that was not meant for you? Like, point blank, period.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. And not just the girls thing, but like, I am a huge people person, and I just love to try to open people's hearts up and just show them there's so much love in the world.
Yeah.
But that's my absolute goal, and I think everybody should just experience that through the kindness that we show, just even if it's through our music or even you doing the podcast stuff like this. It shows so much joy, and it's absolutely incredible. It really is. You're so welcome.
I just love you, Gracie.
I love you too.
What is happening lately? Like, you got any shows? Anything you're looking forward to?
Yes. So right now, ever since I left Broadway in April of 2023, and ever since then, I really wanted to give myself a grace period, and I say that literally because my name is Grace. But my whole life I never did that for myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I always gave myself to other people. I'm a huge people pleaser.
Same.
It does take a toll on you. And so when I left, I truly I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to listen to myself, listen to my heart, be smart about what's in my mind, try not to let it mentally get to me because of all the things that I went through. Broadway was crazy, guys. It was insane. So I ended up just letting myself not work. And I wrote a whole bunch of songs this past year. Amazing. I really listened to my heart. I wrote about, this is absolutely my favorite time, I think, of my life, because I ended up writing about everything that I went through in my whole life leading up to now.
Yes.
So it's been so much fun. And now I'm scheduling shows to go off of those songs. And it's been fun because all of those songs. So basically, I grew up with a heart condition. Have I told you that? I think I told you that.
I think so. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, like leading into what we're getting into.
Yes.
I grew up with a heart condition, and I think that's honestly why I love the way that I love. I never knew how much time I was going to have in this world. And I think it just helped me open up to just want to live the best life that I possibly could and love the way that everybody should be loved. And so I went through some really bad breakups because of that reason. So I love the wrong people, and that's okay, because sometimes you have to go through those experiences to get to where you need to be. So what I did was I took all of my medical conditions that I had growing up and all of my heartbreaks, and I put it into one. And that's what I've been creating my music on lately. And now it's all finished. I have everything ready to go. But we're just working on, like I said earlier, the financial stuff, and hopefully I can get that out to you guys soon, because now I'm doing all the shows. I'm doing this Nashville tour. This is to answer your question now. That was kind of a long segment.
No, please.
But now I'm doing this Nashville tour where I'm going to all the spots where my heart was broke. And I'm performing.
Gosh.
I'm performing all of those songs at those places now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I love it. It's kind of healing my heart in a special way.
I was going to say, wow. Okay. Heart was broke just in general, by a boy, or a performance there, or all of the above, or what?
Yes, everything. So I dated this guy I met in elementary school and kindergarten. We grew up together. He moved to Nashville with me. We dated for 6 years, lived together, broke up. Absolutely the worst breakup of my life. A lot of narcissist tendencies from sides, a lot of lies, a lot of rumors, it got to my head, it was one of those. So then it was my rebound period. I've realized I'm not a rebound girl. I'm not that person. I can't sleep around with people because of the lover girl in me.
Yeah, it's okay, I get too attached for this. I would be the same way.
Yes. Yes.
No shame to the girls that do and are.
No, and you found your person. so fast and so quick and so amazingly.
It's really a blessing, for
truly.
real.
Like, I'm so happy you're not going through this. But also, I'm happy you're experiencing what you need to in love, like the way you're doing it, and like living with him in this van is so cool and so inspiring. Like, it truly makes me believe that there is somebody out there for me, just because I see what you guys have.
Gracie, 100%.
It's really cute. It really is.
You.
But and then I experienced some I don't want to say another rebound guy, but I dated my co-front while I was on Broadway, and truthfully, I came to a point where I realized I was only dating him because I was scared to work down there, and I didn't want to be single and feel like there were all these single men just coming at me.
Right.
So
drunk men.
Exactly. So I was like,
or married drunk men.
Yes. Oh so many married drunk men.
For real. So
many.
Bad.
And I just, it helped me with my anxiety down there to just say like, oh my gosh, no, my boyfriend's on stage. I don't want anything to do with you. And then they like, let me go, you know? So I realized like, I feel so bad for saying that, but it's the truth, and I'm a truther. I will let you know what I'm feeling at any given moment. And but he was the sweetest thing, and he protected me a lot while I was down there. So I think it was good for both of us and the time that we needed for each other.
100%.
But I definitely realized that the biggest love that I was missing was from myself. And that's what I've been doing this past year with my music and stuff. So it's been lovely. Actually, I've been enjoying it so much.
That is so important. Like, for real, people undervalue and don't realize how important it is to at least try to love yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I was a hope hater. Like, I'm my biggest hater for real. But I've been trying to be better, and sometimes I find myself like just going on little dates with myself. Like, I go shopping by myself, and I'll text Mitch, and I'm like, I'm having so much fun hanging out with myself today.
I love that. And there's such a beautiful thing in doing that when you just date yourself.
Yeah.
You can date yourself even when you're in a relationship.
Oh, 100%.
And a lot of people don't do that because they're just so into what their other person is doing. And they're so like-minded with that other person that they forget about themselves.
Totally.
It's crazy. I'm glad you do that for yourself, though.
And normally it involves like TJ Maxx or Marshalls.
That's the spot. A little Target run.
Little Target
Get you some
run.
Starbucks. Buy a new set. You know?
For real. That's mostly what it is. Yeah, I've been really lucky with Mitch because we are like very, very close and very much the same. But
so
he's
cute.
also super like, when he sets his mind, like, I'm doing this or I have things to do, we kind of like separate. Like, he goes into his room and does his thing, office. And I do my own thing. And then really this is just to sleep and travel. So
that's beautiful.
And when we are like together, we're super clingy. So this works great for us.
Love.
Everybody talks about like having a blowout fight in van life, like when you start living with your person in such a tight space, because it's Mitch, my dog, and I, all three of us in here. So, and my dog is not tiny. She's a golden retriever.
She is a big dog.
So everyone talks about this like blow up fight, and I'm like, we really haven't had any yet in the van, and we've been in here for a while. So hopefully there's not one coming. But
even if you guys do experience that, I think you both have such a strong foundation with each other that no matter what the fight would be, you guys just, I think you just get right through it. Like, it's so beautiful what you guys have, that the love overpowers any fight or argument that you guys do. It's truly amazing to watch them. If you guys ever see
Gracie.
Mitch and Hope together, it's so amazing. Like, it's very inspiring. I love their love. I
do. Thank you for saying that. What the heck?
Yeah,
So you have a bunch of shows coming up. That is super cool that they're all inspired by places you got your heart broken. That is super cool. You talked about, so I haven't had anybody on yet that has played the Broadway circuit.
Oh, here we go.
So, what was that like? For people that are watching that, you know, maybe they've come to Nashville once or twice and gone to a bar and seen someone play Broadway.
Yeah.
Like, they are out drinking and having fun. They just see someone on stage, but they don't realize, like, how all that works.
Yeah.
How does that work?
This is a great topic. It's so weird for me personally to kind of talk about this subject, though, because from a tourist view, I have a completely different view of what Broadway is. Like, for example, like I grew up coming to Nashville. I grew up visiting here. This was the place that my parents would vacation to. Like, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And so, like, this is just like a good middle spot for us to go to. My parents love country music. So, I mean, I experienced country music from at a very young age because of that reason. Like, I'm talking like older country music, like George Strait, Alan Jackson, even Dwight Yoakam. I love Dwight Yoakam. Like, I used to go visit the Grand Ole Opry. Like, that is a dream of mine. Just because I have, thank you, put it into existence.
Yes.
But like, just because I have this foundation of what country music is, I fell in love with it. And so this is crazy. I would visit Broadway when I was like 6, 7 years old. And I'd walk on the strip. And you guys, like, mind you, this was 20 years ago? Broadway was totally different. No bachelorette parties. Nobody really knew of it. It was just country music fans. It was just people who loved the history of it. And I would go down there, and this is like, when I talk about manifesting, this is also a huge part of it. And I didn't know I was doing this, but it was one of those manifesting things.
Yeah, totally.
So my parents and I would go to Tootsie's all the time. Every time we would go down to Nashville to visit, we'd go to Tootsie's, and I'd just sit there, and right on Tootsie's window, they have the drummers like right there. Like, it's a small little like window right there. And it's a small spot. If you guys have never been to Tootsie's, the first floor it's so tiny. I think it's probably the smallest first floor bar that is on Broadway. But like, I would just sit there, like, putting my hands on the windows. I remember it so vividly, and I just watched the drummer and the bands, and because sometimes they'd let us in there, but a lot of times they wouldn't because we were so little. Now I think they let some kids in there during the day. But yeah, so like, for example, I would do that, and then when I come back to Nashville, Broadway, it just changed. I went to college and was like, I'm not going to work down there. Like, it looks like that's where a lot of musicians go to figure it out, but they don't get out of it.
Yeah.
And that's something that I always saw was, how many musicians do you know that have made it who have worked on Broadway? There's really not that many.
Right.
Because they stay down there. Because
the money is good, and I think a lot of people go, well, I'm making money doing what I love, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I kid you not, like, almost everybody I met down there, either they were older and they've been down there for years, or they were just new starting out. And then there was like really no in between. There wasn't people who have been there for like in the middle of that. It was just, you just started, or you've been there for ages.
Yeah.
So it was either you quit or you keep going. And so once I graduated college, I played it was a few months on a cruise ship. I was in a band, a country band on a cruise ship.
Iconic.
And I played on there for a bit and learned all the music that you could possibly do. It was just like a Broadway set, like all the cover songs. It was a 3-hour show that I played. It was like I was getting ready to go.
Yeah, it was like training.
No, for real. Like I didn't know, but like, I knew somehow.
Yeah.
And I learned everything I did. And so COVID hit and I flew back to Nashville. everything I learned on the cruise ship, I thought was just going to go to poop. Like, everything was gone and the world ended. Nothing was going to happen. Real. And when I came back here, I learned that Broadway, there were a couple bars on Broadway on the Tootsie circuit that were looking for some more girl singers. And I needed some money, so I started playing down there because I learned all the songs already.
Right.
Just joined a band, and I got my start on there, and it was so incredible. And I always tell people, whoever does want to go work on Broadway and kind of get that start for the experience, to go do it, because it truly was an amazing experience, and I learned so much, not just as a musician or an artist, but as a person.
Yeah.
You learn so much just about the world, what it's like down there, how to kind of pick yourself up if you need to get out of a situation, because it's like you will find some crazy stuff down there, even if you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of, to answer your question now, I kind of basically see it as a spot where it's mentally drowning and so draining for a person, even if you're going down there for a bachelorette party or to be a musician or working there as a bartender, or I don't know, anywhere down there, to just be careful. It's a very different experience as a musician compared to a tourist. So be kind to all of the people who are down there working their butts off, because they're doing that because that's what they need to be doing. And if you are a tourist going down there, it's not just a spot where you can go party and get drunk. Truly, that's not what it was made for. I think you should always appreciate the history of any environment.
100%.
So yeah, it's crazy, and it's very different working down there for 2 years and then mentally having so much fun and running around with a tip bucket and being in a crowd of partiers every single night. It's a blast, but then you go home and you kind of basically have to wind down from it and then get ready to do it all over again.
Right. It's like
it's wild. It's a party, and there's so many people who come here on vacation and don't realize like that is actually our life. Like, this is your vacation, but this is actually our life.
Right.
Like, when I want a vacation, it's actually what you're doing for work.
Like,
yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a long explanation, but
no, that's seriously so helpful. So like, let's say there's a young artist watching this that wants to get started on Broadway. How do they go about doing that? And do you have any advice?
Broadway is a very amazing spot if you want to get started and learn how to kind of sing with a band, play live music, or just have the opportunity to be able to practice like guitar or piano or singing and playing or connecting with an audience. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be a star like Taylor Swift, that's a very good spot to get started. You learn so much. And I say go for it. I say do it, as long as you know what your capacity is to the level that you want to be in your career, or as a musician or as an artist. It's all different. Career, musician, artist, whatever you want to do. It's a very good way to get started, and I literally just know when you have to end. I went a little farther. I went way longer than I probably should have when I was down there. I kind of went insane after, I think, the last 3 months that I was working down there. I probably should have quit before that, because it just got way too much. And I truly was going insane. I think it was just because of the singing the same songs over and over again every single night.
100%.
Yeah, and they're not my songs. And I moved down here because I loved how the hospitality was and the love that country music has around in Nashville. That's why I'm here. It just took that away from me after that. So know when you have to leave a situation.
That's really, really good advice.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
So was it like a job listing, or did you meet someone that got you into it, or how does that work?
It's so funny. No, I think I got back from the cruise ship and I didn't really know how to get started back into the Nashville like scene of playing shows. So I just went to this rider round at, I don't remember where it was. It was either the Commodore Grill.
Oh yeah,
that's always a good place to start, or the local. I can't remember.
Both great places. So
love those spots. But I met a couple of people who worked downtown at those writers' rounds, and they needed a girl singer for their show like that week. And I had told them.
So you dove in.
Yeah, I was telling them about my time on the cruise ship and what I did on there. And yeah, they were just like, well, come on over to my band this day and night and like, we'll get you hooked up. Like, that'll be great. And so I did. I went and I played at Rippy's side room. That was the first one I did. And that after that, they were like, well, you should meet the guy who like runs all the bookings, who does the shows. He'll get you right on the schedule. They were like, that was awesome. Like, we want you to have a band.
Yeah.
So that was really cool because in the Tootsie circuit, usually what they do is they have auditions every Saturday in the back room that they have. And they kind of pick and choose from there if you go up and sing a song with the band, if you are in the schedule or not. Yeah. And so I didn't have to do that.
That's awesome.
I just played a show, and then the guy who books it, his name's Uncle John, he basically was just like, you're getting on the schedule. I played with a couple different guys in bands, and then I eventually found the right co-front for me, and I started playing on there. But
that's amazing.
Yeah. And usually what they also do is once you get notified that you've been chosen to be put on the schedule, you'll go to a meeting and they'll kind of tell you who you can be paired up with and where you're going to play and what goes on. But most of the time they really want to schedule you to play acoustically first, so they know that you can actually play and sing and just like get along with an audience pretty well. So it's a fun experience, and if you have the opportunity to try and do something like that, if you're interested in it, do it. I say go for it, because it has led me to the best, amazing scenarios of my life, I think.
That's amazing. And another thing I've been seeing on your socials is you've been singing the national anthem and like cool stuff.
Thank you.
What is that like?
What's wild about that? I've been singing the national anthem. I don't even know for how long. Like, I think the first time I did it was I was in high school, maybe middle school. I was in high school, but I got a job. This is funny. This was my first job to work as an entertainer, live performer at an amusement park.
That is so cool.
Thank you. In Cincinnati. And anytime they would have some kind of event going on at the park, they would ask me to perform the national anthem, which was very cool. So that's kind of how like I got my start in performing that, and I would just sing it after that around my hometown in Cincinnati. Almost everybody there kind of knows that that's my thing that I do now, so I get asked to do it a lot. But I started doing that in my high school. I sang the national anthem at so many events there. And then when I came here and went to college, I did it there at the sporting events. And then it just kind of led on to more things. My favorite has been, I sang it at the Cincinnati Bengals versus Cleveland Browns, the Ohio rivalry game. Oh, there was like 75,000 people there.
Wow.
It was so cool.
How long ago was that?
I did that in 2022, that season.
Wow.
So it wasn't long ago.
That is so cool, Gracie.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Goodness.
So I've been, because of that reason, I don't know, I posted one TikTok of just kind of showing behind the scenes of what you do when you're like getting ready to go out and sing the national anthem. And I think that's what hit. for some reason it just got so much attention. They were really into it. And I also did this is a part of my like content stuff. My theory of like how to possibly get more views and maybe go viral is doing the part 2. So I always say, this is so funny. This is my like hack. I always put performing the national anthem in front of 75,000 people for the first time. And then I never sing it. It's not on that clip. So they're watching, waiting for it to. And
then you get all the engagement for the comments that are like, I loved the part where you sang.
Exactly. And it just makes it goes on the algorithm because of that reason. So smart. It pushes it out. And then that gives me the opportunity to get more people to actually watch it sing when I post the part 2 of it. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, I've already watched this other minute and a half. Like, I'm invested at this point. Let me watch the other half.
Yeah, it's been so cool.
That is so smart. I think people love behind the scenes stuff in general, though, because I think the music industry, for people that aren't in it, is so... Honestly, even for people that are in it, it's like confusing and weird and... different for every artist, really.
Yes.
And, but it's totally like mysterious for people that aren't in it at all. And I think it's a very like sexy industry that people want to like know what's happening. So yeah, behind the scenes stuff I feel like is really
I'm
neat.
glad you brought that up, like, because I'm that type of person where I'm very visionary. I'm imagery, like show me anything, I will remember it. I almost have a Pictionary mind.
Yeah,
a visionary mind. I don't know what it's called.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, but because of that reason, and this probably helped, like maybe the same thing for you too. Like whenever I was a kid, like I didn't grow up with a lot of money or like cameras or like
same.
I didn't understand fame. I didn't understand fortune. Like I just saw people on a screen looking amazing. Like, you know, social media. But when people would post like behind the scenes stuff or how they did it or like, you know, whatever it was so inspiring for me to be able to watch that.
Yeah.
Yes, because then I was able to take that and
like
be like,
reverse
oh my
engineer
gosh.
things.
Right. Like, what? I can actually do that. It's just so, it's crazy because you think that you can't do something. You have to have so much money. You have to have people who do this, and this. You have to have a makeup team. You have to have a whole like production team.
Right.
But like, you really don't. Like, just go out, buy yourself a camera. Like, you're doing it right now.
Thank you, Queen.
It's so cool. And just because of those things and watching behind the scenes stuff of like music videos or just like even those little things like my little national anthem stuff, like walking and seeing all of that through like those person's eyes.
Yeah.
It helps so much being able to move forward like that.
It really does. And as an independent artist, you really do have to. It's a necessity to know how to do all this stuff, whether it be, like you said, makeup or cameras or whatever. And as much as sometimes I'm like, dang it, I really wish I had some help and like some funding and some support here. Like that would be nice. I do find it so empowering, like all of the things that I've been able to learn. Like I'm dyslexic, and so I went through school thinking I was just stupid because I didn't get my diagnosis until I was a senior in high school.
Really?
And so I was like, oh, I'm just like stupid. That's just what it is. Wow.
So like when you would write or read, would you just read everything backwards, or was it like
kind of? So it kind of, there's like a simulation I'll show you afterwards. It's like kind of like what I see, but it even happened with music. Like my music notes would be like floating all over the staff. But what would happen is I would get such bad grades because we'd have like, okay, our English homework tonight is to read chapters 4 through 6. And then tomorrow we're going to get in a circle and do a little Socratic seminar and we're going to talk about what we read, or there's going to be a surprise quiz. I would read it. Yeah. But I would be so focused on reading the words properly that if you asked me a single thing about the plot,
no way,
I wouldn't.
Oh my god.
So then I got really discouraged because all of my teachers and everyone would be like, you didn't do your homework. Like you didn't read. And it's like, I did read and I'm killing myself to read. So if you're going to think I'm not doing my homework, I'm just not going to do it anymore.
Like, so you had to like go through the first step of it before you could like understand the story of what that sentence was saying. Is that what you're saying basically?
Yeah, I mean, like I just, my reading comprehension was not there. So like I could read a whole book, Gracie, and not be able to tell you what I just read.
Wow.
Just because I'm so focused on reading the words properly. And it's hilarious because when I was in like the 2nd or 3rd grade, I was like reading above my grade level. It's like harder to find in girls.
So good at studying the words,
I guess. And it's like I would practice reading because everyone in school, oh my God, when we did popcorn reading, it would be like popcorn hope. Popcorn hope. Like everyone would popcorn back to me because it was like funny and also it killed time.
Get out of here.
But like circling back to
pressure
for real. Oh my gosh, if we were going like in a line and I knew I had to read, I would like practice for like 5 minutes before.
Would you like count the people in front of you and be like, okay, let me count which one I'm gonna read? That's
which I think like for embarrassment purposes, like a lot of people can relate to that. Like I'm sure everybody was like, let me read this through once so I don't screw it up. But I would like fret about it. Like it was a whole thing. But that being said, like doing all of this artisty stuff and like working cameras and doing graphic design, like I do all of my, with the help of awesome friends, but like I do all my visuals, all my graphics, like everything that you see on my page is I'm making it. And
that's so amazing.
And so like having to learn the cameras and learn how to graphic design and learn how to video edit and things like that has been like super empowering, and hopefully someday I can hand that torch on to someone else and just focus on artistry. But like I really it made me realize like, oh, you're not stupid, you're good at other things.
Yes, exactly. And that's why you're so good at singing and writing.
Thanks,
and
Queen.
You have such a beautiful, amazing imaginary mind. Thank
you.
Like comes out of your mouth and say, even all of your music is so iconic, and like you tell a story.
I love you.
No, for real. Like you tell a story, and that's what makes it so cool and why people listen to you. It's so great.
You too, Gracie.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Queens loving on queens.
It's the best.
Okay, so I do this segment called Road Rage, where we talk about something in the past couple weeks to a month that has just pissed you off, and it can be as deep or not deep as you want it to be.
I love it. It's so crazy. I don't experience a lot of rage, I'm not gonna lie. I truly don't get mad. Don't get mad.
Fair answer.
Let me think. The only things that I like could ever get mad about would be either if you're like super close with me and you're like my sister, or my really close friend. I don't know.
Totally fair.
I don't
totally
know.
Fine.
Like rages. I would, okay, if I had to say something, it would be my sister. This is crazy. It's not even about me. It would be my sister, who sometimes has to go take naps whenever I visit her, and like that's totally cool. I love you so much, but I do want to hang out with her whenever I'm visiting. So take your nap before you know I'm coming.
Get caught up with your naps before Gracie appears.
I love you so much. You're great.
Fun.
But that's it. That's it. I'm not mad at. Oh, see, I'm not even mad about it. Like,
oh, don't even
just hang out with me more.
So true. No, I have so many like fake rages where I'm not like actually mad, but I'm just like, you know that meme that's like, I'm glad you asked because I've been dying to talk about it.
Oh my God, yes.
That's me for real.
Do you have one in this past?
Yes. I think I'm getting like totally fed up and annoyed. When I was thanking you earlier for being a girl's girl and being supportive, I am just so like, I thought when I graduated high school I was going to be done with Mean Girls, And then
Oh
I
my
moved to
gosh.
Nashville and I realized there are so many mean girls. And I just keep every year, I'm like, okay, like I'm 25 now. It's going to get better. And it's like, there are still people out here acting just mean and hateful and jealous, and it's not cute.
Not at all.
At 25, 26 years old, and it's like, hey, queen.
That goes along with the competition thing that we were talking about,
Yes,
too.
yeah.
And the jealousy around it, it's not worth it, in my opinion. Like, truly, it's a little bit better because you don't get to really see those people every single day.
Right,
and, like,
you get
have
to
go to, like,
choose
a class.
who you hang out with.
Exactly.
Now.
But
which, yeah.
they're still out there, and you don't think they are, but there's just some people who need to go through some things, I think, after high school still, that just don't really realize it yet.
Yeah. For real.
I mean, I'm saying that kind of lightly, but
yeah.
I think they just need to experience some more hardships on them, and I say that very with so much love in my heart.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Well, hardships like form who you are as a person, and if you don't experience any, it's hard to learn life lessons that are very necessary for your development.
Yeah, exactly. And coming off of that, I probably experienced more bullying in high school, but I didn't care. I didn't ever care. I was just always in that, like, if you're experiencing a bully, it's probably because they're experiencing something that went horribly wrong in their life, or they've experienced trauma, or it's just something that they're relaying to you that they didn't know how to, like,
cope with.
Cope with. So, and for some reason, like, I've always just been up in that knowing. And so whenever I would come across people like that, I truly would sit with them and not kind of like let them get it out, but I would kind of help them, guide them to, like, what maybe the right thing is to say instead of this.
Right.
Or how to, instead of saying this to somebody who maybe has, like, a disability and them kind of, like, making fun of them, maybe you should say this instead. Or because maybe you're hurting this person's feelings, but you didn't know that. And so 100%. They feel bad. Like, it's just a constant cycle of bullying and meanness and jealousy and competing because of all of those reasons. And so that I think I like to help people, and that's also why I do my music, because I do that with that, my music, and just kind of show them a lighter side to things and experience kindness more rather than what they're giving to the world. And so now that I'm in Nashville, I've experienced that way more, and because of all of the life experiences that I have been through with all of my trauma, it's gotten to me a lot more, and I've definitely have struggled with jealousy for the first time. In high school, I didn't really care about that growing up. I just wanted to spread kindness.
Right.
But when I got here, it was like, so many people are just like me.
Oh, 100%.
And want to do what I'm doing, and they saw that in me, and either they are trying to put me down because they don't want me to make it because they're trying to make it, or they see that and they want to be my friend and then use what I have created for myself and take it for them, and then, like, nothing happens for me. And so I started seeing the jealousy in me for the first time, and I think that was purposely supposed to be there in my life because I haven't ever really experienced that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've been experiencing this past year, writing all my songs and kind of loving myself for who I am, and go through that because I never saw that side. So now that I've kind of gone through that hump, I'm like getting back to that. I think we need to be kind to each other again and spread all of that around. But it's been way harder being outside of high school and in my 20s trying to figure out life, whereas when I was a teenager, it was like a little bit different for me. I feel like it was opposite for everybody else. The experience in high school,
you knew what was going on psychologically in the bully's head in high school, but now you're like, well, I think it is confusing because like you do have that hope in high school, like, oh,
this a little hope.
This is just like a phase, you know, they're gonna grow out of it. But then when people don't grow out of it, it's like,
gosh, yes.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, now I don't know what to do with this because life just needs to work on you, I guess.
Still, it's still happening in my 20s. So I was like, this is never going to end. Like, I had like a little panic attack for about a year.
Panic attack for a whole entire year.
But we're so good now. And I think just because I experienced that, he's back.
He's back. God.
Just because I experienced that, I think the world is getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm starting to see the love and light again. Because I had to go through that.
Moral of this whole podcast is be kind and love each other. Life is way too short to just be a mean, nasty person.
Exactly.
And if you think something nice about someone, say it.
Yes.
There's way too many people saying negative things.
What's the point of that? Why do you want to put negativity out into the world?
To make themselves feel better.
Right. But
it's silly. It's stupid. It's like, it makes the person you're complimenting feel good, and it makes you feel good too. Like, just be kind. If you think something nice, say it. If you think something mean, don't.
Just keep it to yourself. And if it's mean, think of another way to be like, if it's something that you maybe feel like you have to tell them with, just don't say it bluntly in a crazy mean way where that person will maybe start feeling different ways about you. Just be kind, just be nice, and that is my message. That is the message of today. Be kind. I always say, like, whatever you can do during the day, if you're going out, just look at somebody in the eyes and give them a smile. It actually
makes everyone's day better, for real.
So yes, it'll help somebody. You never know what somebody's going through. And that also goes back around to the rage thing. That's why I don't have rage.
Because you're so understanding.
If I have rage, it's about myself or my sisters. That's it.
And sisters get a pass. You're allowed to have rage with your sisters.
They do. And if I ever say, you feel like a sibling to me, and if I'm like not kind of teasing you in a loving way, it's because I absolutely love you and I feel like you're blood, you know? I never ever want to say anything mean to somebody, and if you take it mean, that's because you took it that way. And that means, sorry, I guess you're not supposed to be in my life.
Yes.
You know?
So true. So true. Okay, so I guess we'll do the test drive segment now. Do you have a song that you want to show me?
Oh, okay. I'm going to give you an option here, Hope. Do you want to hear? I have 2 songs. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have 3 now that are going to be on my EP that people have not heard. Yay! Well, that are unreleased, because I've been teasing a lot of them. But so far right now I have 3. There's going to be 6 songs on the EP. I'm really excited for this. And I've been mostly calling this a project because of what it's about and the whole concept of it.
I love a good concept album.
Thank you. It's absolutely the best time making concept stuff. It's just been so cool.
It's such a fun, creative challenge, for real.
It is. I agree. And then you're like writing songs about this specific thing, and a lot of people have come up to me with ideas too, because they knew I've been doing this. So it's been fun. But so the songs on the EP are going to be Heartburn, which I put out like a year ago now, which is kind of crazy that I'm saying that. Heartburn, Symptoms of You, which was the song after Heartburn, and then I put out Vital Signs this year, a couple months ago.
So good. Such a bop.
Thank you. Those songs are all out, and they're going to be a part of the project. So go check that out when it comes out.
Yes.
And then there's going to be 3 more. I'm going to give you 2 options.
Okay.
Do you want to hear the title track called Heart Condition? Or I have a song called X-Ray that is kind of sad, and it kind of connects to all the places that I'm like playing for my tour.
X-Ray. I'm a sad girly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Heart Condition's cool too, so we'll play that. We can maybe play that too if you want to hear a little bit. But.
Yeah. See, Test Drive is hard because I want to hear everything.
I know.
So.
Okay, this one. Okay, it's sad. I decided I loved the demo so much. I decided I really wanted to keep it like a demo feel.
100%. Yeah.
But we just added a little bit of an instrument, another one, and then a couple different vocal lines. But yes, are you ready? You want to hear?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So
okay.
I wrote this song with Emma Place and Fran Littersky.
I love Emma.
Oh my God, they are the best. They are the sweetest beings. And I was telling them about my project that I was doing while I was, in the middle of this. And I think I had already written a Heart Condition. So while we were sitting there, we were just thinking of different medical things to kind of write about. And I don't know, I think it was Emma or I forget how we came up with the concept for writing this, but it truly came out to be something that is so meaningful to me. And I'm very happy about it. So this is called X-Ray.
You guys are in for a treat. I'm so excited about this. Oh, it's so pretty.
You walk in the bar on Demumbrian, 2 for $1 Friday night, tequila and lime. You knew I'd
so
be
good.
there, my
Thank
friends
you.
and I. You don't get to ask me.
I love the
how
steel.
I've been.
And the
Yeah, I ain't
heartbeat.
been alright since that night.
Feel
You
it,
left
too.
me
Yeah.
standing there, no goodbye. So if you're wondering why,
Oh,
you can ask my therapist, you can ask my best friends, you can call my mama but she won't pick up. Don't try my daddy cause he's got his gun. The whole world knows what you did. It should be so damn obvious. If you can't read the room, it's written on my face. Don't need an X-ray for heartbreak. Forgive you now. There's no
love that,
chance in
Gracie.
Oh my gosh, when I heard it after we were done with it, I mean, I was bawling my eyes out. I was like,
it's so good. And you
Thank
sound
you.
so beautiful. And I love the production. I love how simple and clean and
gosh.
country it is.
Thank you. And Fran is the one who produced that.
Wow.
She is so incredible. And like,
Shout out female
anytime-
producer. Hello.
no, for real, we love you. You're incredible. And any song that she makes has that heartfelt just essence to it. And
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. And you like, oh my gosh, it's incredible. Like any song I ever hear from her that she produces is that's what it is. If you see this, Fran, love you so much.
Chef's kiss.
But yeah, I absolutely love that one. And then I've written a couple other things with her too, and the same feeling I get every time when I write with her.
Wow. I love when you have a songwriter friend or a producer that you just click with. It's like
Yeah,
literally so magical. Like you
So
can't explain
great.
the feeling.
right. Yeah, that's how I feel with you too. No, for real.
I know.
It's
I'm
so
excited
great.
for what we're gonna write today. Normally,
too.
when Gracie and I get together to write, we will just we're talkers and we will talk for like so long. So I was like, hey, we should talk on the podcast so
I
that
know,
we're more
yeah.
productive.
I love it. I'm glad we're getting it out now. So
I know. Seriously, I ask everybody for a song that they either. It could be yours. It could be a song that you're just listening to and vibing with lately. What should I add to our drive time playlist?
okay, this is perfect.
And you can give me two. You can give me a couple.
A couple?
Some people like to pick one of their own, and then just a song they enjoy,
Okay.
or whatever you think.
I'm not gonna pick one of my own.
Okay, I'll just add one of your own.
Or should I?
Vital signs.
Vital signs. Yeah, actually, yes. Vital signs. Most of my unreleased songs I actually have been vibing to a lot, so I can't wait for those to come out. But I would say right now this song just came out, but have I been listening to it every single day since it did? Yes, I have. It's called Overdrive by Thomas Rhett.
Ooh.
It just came out. I cannot stop listening to it.
Overdrive by Thomas Rhett.
A vibe.
I don't know that I've listened to that one.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect for the van life.
It sounds like it.
It's so good. I mean, I think he's coming out with a new album. Mm-hmm. So he's been like teasing all these songs. 11:11, Make a Wish. Sorry. But so good. Also, Beautiful as You. Beautiful as You, is that what it's called?
Yeah. So
oh my god!
Beautiful.
Also, can't stop listening to that. I really can't.
It's such a bop. Like, what crack does he put in his
Doing
songs?
right around with someone like me.
So good.
Whoever produces his stuff too. I want to figure out who it is. I wish I knew.
Are you a Spotify listener or an Apple Music listener?
Look up right now. I'm Spotify. I'm both. I have both of them. Look at that. See, I have it up. I was listening to it already.
She said she's ready.
Truthfully.
With the receipts.
And then I today on the way here to van life, I think I played Overdrive 5 times in the car.
Yeah.
I could not stop
jamming. You were on a road trip, right? So
yeah, I was. I came from Ohio this morning.
Wow.
It's been a day so far. We've been productive.
It has been a productive. You needed that monster energy.
I did. I got it. We're here today. I'm a little shaky, not gonna lie, but
me with my Celsius.
We're keeping it up. Okay, the song credits on this. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who wrote it.
A lot of songwriters.
Jacob Hindlin, John Ryan, Julian Bunetta, Thomas Rhett, Alexander Izquierdo, Joshua Coleman, Zaire Kelsey. I've never heard of any of those people besides Thomas Rhett. Produced by, there's 4 people.
Oh, wow.
Julian Bunetta, John Ryan, Amo, and Dan Huff.
Dan Huff.
Wow.
Anything that Dan Huff touches is like...
I bet you he was the one that went... You know, that little lick on that? I can't. That song is so amazing.
I love that so much.
But yes, go listen to that.
Deal. I will add it to my drive time playlist. And everybody, thank you for coming on the pod.
No, thank you for having me.
Is there anything
so fun.
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you want to plug?
I think truly we probably covered everything. The biggest thing that I ever want to just spread out into the world is love, light, and positivity. So
Gracie, you do that by existing.
Oh my God.
You do. Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the pod. I had so much fun talking with you. I always do. Where can people find you?
You can find me at the Gracie Carol on all social media platforms. The one and only. You can find me there. I'm also on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever you listen to. Go check out my latest song called Vital Signs.
So catchy, seriously.
Thank you. Do it. I do have a lot of music out as well. If there's one thing that you should know from me is whatever music or song that I'm putting out or releasing or just in the middle of doing, I'm going through that at the moment.
I love that.
So yeah, if you go through and listen to all my songs, you'll kind of get an understanding of my life, which is cool.
Y'all go listen to Gracie and make sure you support her and follow her on her socials so that you can see when the EP is coming out. It's seriously going to be incredible. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming.
It's been fun.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.